Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we will present a topic about network fundamental. Okay, this is our issue, the local area network in a business environment. And then this is the list of students that participate in this group. Okay, in this video we will talk about intro to the issue, why you choose the issue, objective, finding on the issue, observation about finding, suggestion to others, and conclusion. Here, my name is Wanur Al-Fatih binti Cik Nasir, 118-1601. Okay, for introduction to the issue, most of LAN is used in business environment. For example, in an office with multiple departments, such as accounting, administration, and other departments. And then LAN is a computer network which consists of two or more computers that connected with each other. They connected either by cables, which is wired, or wireless. The purpose for this computer network is for transmitting, exchanging, or sharing data and resources. It's built using hardware and software. For hardware, example for hardware is routers, switches, access points, and cables. And then for software is operating system or business applications. LAN connects computer within a limited area such as a building, office, school, or home. LAN in wireless networking uses radio waves to transport data over the air, it enabling devices to be connected to a network without any cabling, as we call it LAN. Next, why we choose this issue? First, to study how LAN works in a business environment. Second, to make sure that LAN is secured from virus and malicious programs. Third, scalability in LAN is limited by the number of users. And then for last one, improving the performance of LAN by using other methods.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Nur AISYAH MURSYIDAH of the ZULKEPLY, matric number 1181603. The objective for this issue is primarily to develop rich information of how LAN works in business network. Firstly, to study the benefits of LAN for business. This type of network allow computers to communicate directly with each other as long as each computer on the network has been granted access to the computer with which it is trying to connect. Secondly, to study the security of a LAN in business. The LAN is the primary focus of a cyber attack when it comes to companies and business. This is why it is important to secure the local area network in business. Next, to study the main difference between LAN, VLAN, and VXLAN. Lastly, to study the way to improve LAN performance in business environment. A business network needs to improve network performance for your business thus perform well in order to satisfy the demands of its users.
Findings on the issue. Okay, for LAN, we found many advantages and disadvantages of LAN, but we just said two things that relate with our topic. Okay, advantage of LAN is sharing the internet. A single computer with internet connection shares the internet with all connected computers. Then disadvantage of LAN is data security threat, which is LAN has unauthorized users access important data of an organization. And then for VLAN, VLAN creates its own broadcast domain. They communicate between two VLANs through routers that connected to both. This router connected to the switch port and bring information to other network devices, as we call it trunk port. The same IP address can send message to the same network device, and this IP network does not interfere with other IP network device. If one system wants to communicate with another device, another network of IP address, so we need to use a router to connect both of them. And then for VXLAN, VXLAN is an extension to the layer 2 VLAN. VLAN was designed to provide the same VLAN. VXLAN provide the same VLAN functionality with greater extensibility and flexibility. Okay, VXLAN has higher scalability, which enables up to 16 million VXLAN segments to coax in the same administrative domain. VXLAN are often described as overlay technology, which allows us to stretch the layer 2 connection over a layer 3 network that interferes with tunneling the internet frame into a VXLAN.
The observation of the issue. Firstly, the benefits of LAN. It is allow your employees to share printers, scanner, fax machine, copiers, and internet connection and other source. Next is a server-based network facilitates centralized administration of user IDs and password and hence the security of computing assets and data. Thus, the data keeps secure. Next is LAN also allow easy transfer of data over computers in the network. Thus, it can speed the project delivery. Besides, network also allow you to store the data centrally and ensure that all critical data get backed up on a predetermined schedule. The procedure can automate so that our critical data is in good backup. Lastly, a remote access facility gives the employees the opportunity to telecommute or work from home in comfort and they can establish the link securely. This allows anyone with a user ID and password by using a virtual private network or VPN for remote connectivity can establish the link securely without any problem. Secondly, the security of a line. In business, as it is the primary focus of a cyber attack when it comes to companies and business. The most common strategy to secure a line is installing a firewall resource behind a single access point, such as an initial wireless router. An administrator can also secure routers and switches that are required to create the network, both wired and wireless. Next is it is also a good option to use specific security protocols like WPA or WPA2 for password encryption on outside traffic in a trusted area. A LAN also requires internal security to avoid threats from an illegitimate source. This internal security measure employing methods like antivirus or anti-malware security where hacking activities are introduced into the network through the internal activities. All the activities in the project require to be secure. Finally, the difference between VLAN and VXLAN. There are many differences between them, which is VLAN is used to divide the network into several broadcast domains. In each broadcast domain, users can communicate with each other freely, while VXLAN provides layer 2 overlay networks on top of a layer 3 using MSC and UDP encapsulation. In easy words, VXLAN offers the same service as VLAN, but with a greater extensibility and flexibility. Furthermore, in terms of flexibility, VXLAN is flexible and suitable for scaling out a large cloud, while VLAN are less flexible for multi-tenant networks. Lastly, for scalability with VXLANs can have 16 million VLAN IDs in an administrative domain, while VLAN identifiers only can provide 4094 VLANs only.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Imam BALKISH binti ABDUL GHAFAR, metric number 1181602. Now I will explain about the suggestion on how to improve local area network performance in business environment. So there is 4 ways to improve. So the first one is use VLAN to segment low priority traffic. So as we know, VLAN is the excellent way to partition or separate the network so that the most traffic network, so the most traffic become the highest priority. So VLAN offer the benefit of a completely separate network without having to rewire the entire office. So only separate the network and it does not affect the entire office. Other than that, VLAN also improves security by segmenting your system from each other. So if one part has problem, it does not affect the other part of the network, only one part. The second way is educate personnel about user behavior. So as we know, there is also the user behavior also affect the local LAN performance in the business. So such as the problem is the user emailing a large PPT files to multiple contacts rather than editing them. So they use the large data to email the PPT rather than them editing. And they also take opportunity to boot up a video game or stream a show on Netflix. So if they have a lunch hour, they use the game to boot a game or stream show. It will make a lag to the network. So the third one is offer guest a different network. So problem occur if we host a large number who need internet access. So rather than we reach the internet network, so better offer the guest network, login to the guest network. So last one is bandwidth management. So we assume that resources are limited. Congestion is unavoidable and avoidable. So the challenge is how to minimize the effect of the congestion. Is we might the packet loss or delay in the data delay. So we must manage bandwidth utilization in the network to solve the effect. To make the managing bandwidth is effective, the enforcer must know each of the flow, must get enough information, enough knowledge of the flow to solve it, and how much bandwidth should to be allocated to each in order to gain maximum network utilization efficiency. For the last one, we go to the conclusion. So for the conclusion, overall, we talk about LAN. LAN has advantage and disadvantage. So due to the disadvantage, such as data security threat or malicious threat, we use other method to solve the problem. Other method is VLAN and VXLAN. VLAN and VXLAN. So VLAN and VXLAN have more effective than LAN. So they can support the network, LAN network. But in terms of VLAN and VXLAN, VXLAN is more effective than VLAN in terms of flexibility, scalability, or the reliability. VXLAN is more effective than VLAN. So it can solve the problem better than VLAN. Lastly, we talk about the local, to improve the local area network performance in the business environment. So we have 4 ways that I mentioned before. The way is we use VLAN to segment low traffic, and second, educate personal user behavior, and the third one, offer guests a login network, and the last one, bandwidth management. So that's all for conclusion, and that's all from our group. Thank you.